So what's really interesting and at the same time heartbreaking on campuses today is that students, based on the research in neuroscience and psychology over the past couple of decades, scientists have shown that there's a new stage of life that has been coined emerging adulthood. And the science shows that the traditional markers of adulthood are being attained 2 to 4 years delayed from what they used to be. In other words, students that generally when young people used to drive at 16, most young people are learning to drive at 18. When people were buying their first homes at 22, they're now buying them at 25 or 26. When people were getting married at 21 or 22, they're now getting married closer to 30 on average. So this delay in progress and maturation in terms of our societal kind of standards has been coined emerging adulthood. And so this has happened over the last couple of decades, and simultaneously, certainly in Ontario, at the same time as adulthood is being delayed, students are being introduced into post-secondary, into a more independent and autonomous life, even younger than they were previously. So the combination of those two factors, I believe, among others, including technology and online communications, increased pressure that students feel to perform at the high school level and post-secondary in order to secure a job in what the world is telling them is a very dark and gloomy place in terms of future prospects, where nobody knows what anyone's going to be able to do for work and machines are taking all of the jobs. And when you combine all those factors, those are just a few of the factors at play, but what we're seeing now in the last number of years, most people are coining as a mental health crisis on campus. And they're calling it a mental health crisis because of statistics like, based on a 25,000 student survey, 65% of students said that at least one time in the last calendar year, they were overwhelmed with anxiety. 46% of students said that within the last calendar year, at least once in that period, they were unable to get out of bed for 24 hours because of depression. And we don't talk about it often, but 14 to 20% across Canada of students are dropping out of post-secondary before the end of their first year. And that's not to say how many are dropping out beyond that. So what we're seeing is this confluence of younger students who are actually nominally the same age or a little bit younger, but in actuality behave in terms of a typical age that's a little bit younger. They're going into university younger. They are coming into university in a way that's been defined as achievement oriented. You're going to university to get a result, and that result is very important. And in order to get the result, you have to have very high grades, and you have to be on all kinds of teams, and you have to have a job, and you have to be high performing in every aspect of your life. And not only do you need to be successful, but then you need to transfer that knowledge to a successful career. And for those of us that went to post-secondary a number of years ago, if we think back, this is a very different world. Number one, myself, I was 19 when I started at university, still probably a little bit too young in my opinion. And university was very exploratory. It wasn't a place where you went to solidify your career in the majority of cases. Of course, there were always some who were kind of predestined to fill a career, but the vast majority of people were going to college and going to university to learn new things, build skills, find out what they like about themselves. That is totally not the mindset that young people are taking with them into university and college today. So this confluence of events has created, in addition to the way that our world communicates more generally, in terms of online communication and students being exposed to many people across the world who are seemingly living brilliant, successful, very materially wealthy lives. And they bring that all with them to campus with this huge amount of pressure. So